in this organization. We don't want any loosey-goosiness anymore. No crazy. You should have learned from the last 30 years of suck. Let's just move forward with some smart, capable leaders of men, people that can actually build into a successful team.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
We'll see what this team ends up doing. The one thing I do want to point out, and appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. If you have not done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. By the way, we are over 100 in a chat.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we don't have no soundboard. Me.
I guess I'm not doing the
DeMarco. Well, you never do that in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, you know what?
You're a morning.
If you take a nap, I actually like taking good naps. I take maybe a nap every now and then.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a big napper, bro.
I'm a nap guy.
I'm a big napper. I think having kids young as well makes you a napper because it's just like I need to find a time to sleep.
That's
and
true.
it's usually when they're sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, so as they nap, you nap is a good time.
They nap, you nap. Okay.
Nothing like an adult nap, man.
If I nap, you nap, we nap.
But no, man, I think one thing that we've drastically overlooked with Thomas Brown, and I don't understand why. It's almost like we don't want to believe that Thomas Brown could be an answer at head coach. And so we go look at these guys and we're like, well, Bill Belichick has accomplished it, and he's going to bring in Josh McDaniels, who's accomplished it, and he's going to bring in Mike Vrabel as the DC maybe, who's accomplished it, and there's rings, and there's this, and there's that. Or we go out, we just get Vrabel straight up, and he brings in McDaniels, who's accomplished it, and we got this set up here, and we're great. Or we go get Ben Johnson, who's the head of the #1 offense in the NFL, and he's got this, he's amazing, he's phenomenal. Yeah. It doesn't stop there. Or we can go get Brian Flores. He's blitzing left and right. Blitz, engage 8, engage 8, engage 8. And even though people have kind of figured that out completely, like we want to put praise on all these guys because we do believe that Thomas Brown
running back,
probably isn't the guy who's going to get the job done, right? But
I have faith.
I don't understand how we're overlooking that Thomas Brown was not the OC, was not the running backs coach, was not the ball boy. Thomas Brown was the assistant head coach, which means you have a lot of power, which means you are somebody that the team looks to as well as the head coach to stabilize. And yes, I understand Sean McVay is the head coach there, but he's the assistant head coach of a Super Bowl championship team. He was somebody who was at the top.
Yep.
The co-captain, if you will.
Co-captain, baby.
The Scottie Pippen.
Oh, now we're talking.
To Elon Musk, apparently based on how the Twitter feed is going with Scottie. Calm down, Scottie. Wow. The Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Which, without one, you don't get the accomplishments of the other. Michael has said that as well.
Yeah.
Of that Rams team. How does that count for nothing in the head coaching candidacy of Thomas Brown and what he may be able to accomplish with this team?
I think people are overlooking it because I'll be honest with you, I overlooked that. When you brought that to my attention, I was like, that actually is a fact. He was the assistant head coach when they won the championship. You know, he's been there.
Haven't won a Super Bowl since.
Sorry, you saying
I don't know how much. I don't know how much he had to do with it, right? I don't know how much, but like he's in a major leadership role over there.
Don't get me excited now. You saying
haven't
that he
sniffed
took
the championship?
He took his powers with him, and they all just all right. No, yes, that's something to factor in. You know, you look at all these other coaches and their resume. Yes, they look to be more or much better candidates, but I mean, his resume looks really good. It speaks for itself as well. It's just that you kind of overlook those things because he hasn't technically gotten the head coaching job before. Everybody else has been a head coach and has had opportunities and bites at the apple. Or not Ben Johnson. I was thinking about the variables. I was thinking about the Shanahan.
I guess Brian Flores is in there too.
When he was with Miami. So, I mean, like those opportunities, man, they're few and far between. So when you have somebody like this already in the building, that's why, you know, I may be tongue-in-cheek with this sometimes, but I mean, that's why I say Mike Tomlin 2.0 or 2.5 or whatever you want to call him, because, hey, the resume looks good. He's got a title on his resume. He's part of a championship organization. He's been there.
Yeah.
He knows what it looks like, and that's what you want. You don't want those type of people leaving the out the door just because you want to look for somebody else. Like, you got to keep him in some sort of fashion in this building. That's how I feel. Now, since he's already gotten a chance at being the interim head coach, and you can technically only go up from here, I guess, that would mean head coach or assistant head coach. So that's what I'm saying is be smart about this whole process. That is a huge factor. I think that a lot of people are not really realizing is that, yes, he has that on his resume. He has been in a situation where people have shown respect, and that's why Sean McVay talks very highly about him, saying that, hey, this is a guy when he comes into a room, he demands a certain level of respect. He has that aura about him. Even Caleb says the aura. You know, like, everybody's talking highly about this guy for a reason. They're not just blowing smoke. Like, we got to start seeing that, hey, this guy probably is the real deal before he becomes the real deal.
Now, listen, we still have to – you still got to win. That's what it comes down. You still got to win.
You do.
You can be the assistant head coach and get the ring and all, but I feel like, and even like Chaz in the chat, shout out Chaz. He said assistant head coach that doesn't call plays is a freaking empty title. If it was an empty title, there'd be assistant head coaches all over the league.
There's more than just calling plays.
And that's the thing for me. He felt that he was such a good. Because he was a coach on the team. He was the running backs coach. He was the tight ends coach. But he felt that he was such a good leader on that team that I have to give this dude a title that's a step below me. I have to put him above the OCs. I have to put him above the DC. I have to put him above everybody else in this organization. Like, I don't think you do that lightly. If we're being real, I get Ben Johnson, right? I still listen, and like I said, 5-0 to me gets you an interview. Go 5-0. I need you to. It puts you at the top of the interview list for me.
Yeah.
But if we're being real, his accomplishments with his title is bigger than anything that Ben Johnson, who's trying to dictate policy, has done.
Mm-hmm.
His accomplishments with his title are bigger than Mike Vrabel losing in the AFC Championship game. His accomplishments with his title are bigger than Brian Flores going out there and calling a good defense and saying blitz all night. Like, he was a part of one of the best cultures in football. I feel like it's overlooking what he accomplished and what his position was when he accomplished it to just prop up other guys.
Yeah.
To say, look, because as much as I love Ben Johnson, I think Ben Johnson is going to be a good head coach. I think he's going to be able to run some phenomenal offensive schemes. I think that he is going to be the guy that he's not Matt Nagy, right? I don't believe he's Matt Nagy. But Ben Johnson ain't accomplished nothing.
Not yet, no.
What do you want?
Nothing.
I watched Ben Johnson.
Just a lot of games.
I watched Ben Johnson stop running the football in the second half versus a Bears team that gave up 157 yards in the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
that was interesting.
I can't get behind this mindset that, and this is a weird world we live in, right? Like, the mindset that accomplishment at a certain level, unless you win it all, is a failure. Lovie Smith's career is a failure. Russell Westbrook's career, failure.
Absolutely not.
Chris Paul's career, failure.
No.
Charles Barkley's career, failure. I mean, like, how many guys were great? Dan Marino's career, failure. He didn't win it. Got there. Once. Never got back. And I can't subscribe to that line of thinking that, yes, you got as far as you could go in a league that it is incredibly difficult. And don't let Andy Reid and Bill Belichick fool you. Incredibly difficult to win a Super Bowl in.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to say that your career is a failure? I can't get that. That's the line of thinking that ignoring that says to me.
And again, and I hear you, and just to go back to Chaz, because he is really going hard about the tenure that Thomas Brown had in Carolina. Just to address that briefly, Thomas Brown was under Frank Reich. Frank Reich was the one that was calling plays mostly for those times where, that team was extremely bad. And, of course, you do have to admit there's a certain talent level from team to team. Carolina was not St. Louis. We understand that. When St. Louis was at its best, it was very, very good.
Los Angeles.
I'm sorry.
You went back.
Yeah, Los Angeles. Very, very good team. So you have to admit you have a better coach there in McVay. You also have a better scheme and a better culture there in Los Angeles versus Carolina. But here, you also have a better team than Carolina was and is in all facets in all phases of the game, in my opinion. You have your quarterback. You have the talent around him. And so that's why you're seeing Thomas Brown get back to doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
Get back to being the guy that he probably was in Los Angeles. And that's why I have that hope. That's why I have that confidence. And when I joke around and say Tomlin Brown or Mike Tomlin, whatever you want to call him, 35.8, because I'm seeing it look different with him at the helm. I'm seeing it look different just in a few weeks. You should know what confidence looks like. You should know what a leader looks like when he comes into the room. It just looks different, especially when you compare him to the last coach we just had. You can tell the difference is night and day. Seriously. And so that's why, yes, you keep him as a serious candidate for a reason, because of the resume, because of, yes, those moments where resumes aren't always perfect, right? But now you can tell that he still is getting back to being successful. He's getting back. He knows how to make his team follow his lead. And what did he say best? He said players run this league. It's a players-led game.
Yeah.
Those things he understands because he was a player. That's the kind of guy you want in your building.
He also said play violent, right?
I'm violent. I love it. Boy, that got me going. Violence, baby.
To this day, man. To this day.
Violence.
And listen, at the end of the day, I'm not telling you to crown him the head coach and move on with your day. Do a coaching search.
Crown him, dang it.
No, I want you to do a coaching search.
Yeah, no, do you do
You have to win.
Yeah,
I've said 4-1. You got to go 4-1.
Yeah.
If you don't go 4-1, I got questions.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess if it's a 3-2, right, and you beat the Packers, you beat the Vikings, and like you lose a close shootout to the Seahawks, who are a scrappy team, like, but like, even then, it's like, yeah, but can you get the job done? Those are the games I want to see. Can you get the job done?
What if the 3 wins are the division games, though? Does that matter more?
That means you lose this week versus the 49ers.
And they're beat up.
And they are decimated. Although you don't look that great either. We got 3 guys ruled out already.
You are beat up, too.
We got 3 guys ruled out
so
already.
You lose,
but again, like it's literally like, I'm not telling you to make him the head coach now. What I'm saying is, of the guys that we have ranked for head coach, it feels like on a lot of people's list, Thomas Brown is at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of Bill Belichick, Thomas Brown has accomplished more than any of the names on this list, with a title of head coach attached to him. Like that's just fact. Assistant head coach or not, like nobody else has a Super Bowl outside of Bill. If Ben Johnson wins a Super Bowl, maybe you can put him above him then. But even then, it's.
I would then, yes. I would,
I mean,
because
maybe
he's got 3 years of really, really
3
good.
years of being the number one offense, that wins a Super Bowl. Maybe then you can say that.
So if this year they win it all, then maybe going into next year he's the best top candidate.
I think he's the top candidate now. That's why,